The reason I want to make this video is because of some videos that I've seen on TikTok, which have a lot of misleading information in them, and also in light of the Apple Cider Vinegar documentary that came out on Netflix. If you don't know the reference to the Apple Cider Vinegar documentary, essentially there was a content creator, an influencer, whatever you want to call it, that claimed she had brain cancer and healed it or cured it or treated it through diet alone. And she completely scammed people out of money, saying she was going to, give it to certain charities, and she did not do that. And a lot of people who were extremely unwell, also had cancer, other chronic illnesses, were believing the information that she said, and there is no evidence that she had brain cancer. Between both of those things, the videos that I've seen on TikTok, and I'll touch on them in a bit, and the Apple Cider Vinegar documentary, I wanted to make this video to maybe shed some light on the situation, give my perspective on it, and hopefully, just maybe spread some information / awareness. Let's get into it. Let's start with the definition of holistic medicine, and I have a couple of definitions here just to really get an understanding of what it means. And I will leave everything linked below, or I'll put things on the screen. So, holistic medicine is an attitudinal approach to healthcare rather than a particular set of techniques. It addresses the psychological, familial, societal, ethical, and spiritual, as well as biological dimensions of health and illness. Another definition: holistic medicine is a form of healing that considers the whole person, body, mind, spirit, and emotions, in the quest for optimal health and wellness. Holistic medicine means consideration of the complete person in the management and prevention of disease, physically, psychologically, socially, and spiritually. Holistic medicine is any healing practice that uses alternative methods to address health issues through natural, non-invasive means from a whole person perspective. Popular forms of holistic medicine include acupuncture, acupressure, massage therapy, traditional Chinese medicine, body movement therapy, and naturopathic medicine. So that is the definition. They are the definitions. Some people like to use holistic medicine and traditional medicine, so kind of like a complementary or a mixture of different therapies, getting the best of both worlds, if you will. Now, I'm going to give some examples of holistic medicine in MS, or like examples of holistic medicine to help manage MS, if you will. So this is from the MS Society, which is in the UK. SOR, complementary or alternative therapies. Acupuncture, and that may help pain management, spasticity, and fatigue. Massage therapy can alleviate muscle stiffness, reduce stress, and improve relaxation. Yoga and Tai Chi. These practices enhance flexibility, balance, mental well-being, and can help manage stress and fatigue. We love. Mindfulness and meditation. Stress management is crucial for people with MS, as stress can make symptoms worse. Mindfulness techniques can reduce anxiety and improve emotional well-being. Now, do I think that they are the only things that you can do to treat your MS? No, absolutely not. Do I think you can solely do therapies like that and not use a disease-modifying therapy? No. Can they help manage your symptoms, your day-to-day symptoms? Absolutely. Are there huge benefits to those therapies? 110%. But do I think that Western medicine, if that's the correct term, should be eliminated and not used at all? Absolutely not. The reason I want to discuss this is because I've seen some videos on TikTok saying that people have cured their MS, or they have cured other people's MS through holistic medicine. Just to clarify, there is no cure for MS. If there was a cure for MS, scientists would be talking about it. It would be well-known information. I just want to clarify that. Now, I can't share one video in particular because I stitched the video on TikTok and they blocked me because I gave my 2 pence on it. I will leave my TikTok linked below if you want to go check out that video. You will be able to go onto that person's page and watch their video in total. But just to give you an overview, in this video it said how they used holistic medicine to help their patients recover from MS. Now, first of all, you don't recover from MS. You recover from a relapse. You can recover from a relapse. Not always, but a lot of the time we can. They were using things like, apparently MS is an autoimmune disease, and these treatments that we're supposed to be on for MS, implying one, that MS isn't an autoimmune disease, and to implying that the treatments available for people with MS are not the treatments that we should be on. They claim that the term autoimmune disease is so overused. They use a lot of like scientific terms, and in my perspective, I think that that's a way of trying to nearly mislead people, being like, oh God, this person's using like really fancy language and they know this word and they know that word. I know from working in science and talking to people who don't work in the sciencey industry, when you begin to talk about the job that you do or the course that you've done to people that aren't in that world, it's nearly like a whole different language. The vocabulary in it is so different to your day-to-day vocab, and I think using that type of vocabulary in videos and just blatantly saying information that is incorrect, you're giving off this image that you know pretty much that you're extremely knowledgeable, and giving off this image that you are a medical professional. This person is not a doctor. The video really preyed on people who are vulnerable, preyed on people who are sick, in particular maybe people who have a more progressive form of MS, or maybe people who are newly diagnosed. And he kind of was saying pretty much that you can cure your MS, or quote unquote recover your MS or from your MS, from following things like, you know, like having a very balanced diet and whole foods and all this. And I absolutely am for, you know, a balanced diet and whole foods. There's huge benefits to it. There really, really is. And it's one of the things that you discuss with your consultant is, well, they bring it up and ask you about the type of diet that you have. And they emphasize the importance of getting different nutrients and, you know, following particular diets, all that kind of stuff. But do I think that that's the thing that's going to undo all the damage that's in your brain and prevent your immune system from attacking the myelin sheath? No. If that was the case, everyone would do that and we wouldn't have MS, you know? I have seen another video of a girl that has said she cured her MS. If I find that video, I will put it in here now.
Diagnosed with a disease like multiple sclerosis can be, and is most of the time, extremely hard. If you were diagnosed with MS or living with MS, I highly recommend you watch this whole video. This could potentially really change the trajectory of your life. MS shows up in different ways. It shows up in the body, it shows up in the mind, it shows up emotionally. And when it starts taking the toll of people not being able to use their body, to do what they want, to walk independently, it completely takes it to another level. Here, people start losing their independence. I know, because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2016, and I got to the point of not being able to walk on my own. And my doctors weren't helping me in figuring out what I need to do. They said, oh, if you don't have balance, if your knees are failing, if your ankles are failing, if you have food drop, there's nothing you can actually do about it. Here's the thing, it's actually not true. And I figured it out. And I reversed MS completely in my body. And since then, I've been helping for years now, people, men and women globally, achieve similar results. And a few months ago, I shared about one of my clients that achieved very fast results after 7 years of not being able to walk on her own. She used a walker, she used a wheelchair if she needed. She was barely being able to be present for her kids. If it wasn't the physical toll that MS took, it was the severe fatigue she was experiencing every day. 7 years of not being able to walk. And then in 3 weeks of following mind to body, which is the method, the healing method that I've created for people with multiple sclerosis. In 3 weeks, she was not only able to walk again, but she came back to dancing. Yes, dancing. And I shared it a little while ago when it happened, and many of you are so skeptical because your doctors keep telling you that you can't. So I want to share that video with you because you get to be empowered. You get to know the truth. You get to be the one choosing what you want your life to be like. Do you want to spend them in wheelchair limitation and believing those who say you can't? Or do you want to free yourself and become one of the people that say, I know you told me it's not possible. I know most people don't achieve it, but I did. Because you can choose which one you want to be.
Multiple sclerosis is one of those diseases doctors keep telling us are chronic, will remain forever because they found no cure to it and there's nothing one can do. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong, because not only I created it in my own body, in the past few years I've been guiding towards healing so many people with MS and similar autoimmune diseases. But the bottom line is this: if she could do it, and many other people that I saw, you can do it too. The question is, what is it that you focus on in order to heal? Are you just going through the route of trial and error, hoping for the best? Because let me tell you this, those who succeed, those who reverse symptoms, are following steps that have been proven and people before them have followed and succeeded with. If you're committed to healing, don't waste your time. The best thing to do is to follow what people already proved that is working.
From my memory, she is claiming that, pretty much that she's cured her MS from natural medicine or holistic medicine or alternative medicines. I'm not saying that this person is lying, because this person could have naturally gone into remission. Your body can naturally go into remission and never go into relapse ever again. It can happen. It has happened before. And, maybe this person has, changed her lifestyle and her body's naturally gone into remission. And now she's like, fuck, I cured my MS. I'm going to tell everyone about it, and I don't want to be like, oh, this person is a bad person and this person is lying. But I do think when people try to then benefit off other sick people being like, oh, if you sign up to this, or if you want to work with me on how you can cure your MS or cure your autoimmune disease or cure your chronic illness, I think it's so morally wrong on so many levels. And I think as well to try and take people away from medicine, things that have proven to help people, thousands, millions of people around the world, to try take that away from someone, or maybe distract someone from it, or maybe mislead someone away from that. To me, it's so morally wrong. And people like this are taking people's money, but preying on their vulnerability. And I think it's so wrong on so many levels. You would think that maybe if you thought you cured your MS, you would just give that information out. Like, why are you trying to make money off vulnerable people, sick people? There's something a bit sinister about it, that you will only share this information if people pay you. Oh, I don't know. And I think, like, when it comes to people's health, when it comes to people's life, and look, listen, everyone is able to make their own decisions. No one is forcing anyone to make these decisions, but it's the preying on a vulnerable person. You know that person is particularly weak. That person is sick, and you're giving this false hope, this factually incorrect information. And I just think it's so wrong. And you really, really see it in the Apple Cider Vinegar documentary as well, of how, like, people, obviously in Apple Cider Vinegar, it's relating to cancer, and like people came off their treatments, they went down holistic routes and, try to eat different foods and do natural remedies and all this kind of stuff to cure their cancer. Obviously the series is acted, but that information came from the documentary itself. So you have the documentary and the series, or the acted version of it. Obviously in the acting, not everything is 100% correct, but like you can see from the documentary, like screenshots of people talking about how they stopped taking their treatment because of this person. And like there's people in it that, like in the actual documentary, talking about how they were like infatuated by this particular content creator that claimed they had brain cancer, and they believed everything she said. And it just shows you the power that like a singular person can have on thousands of people. Like this was worldwide, that people were believing this information. And I don't think that single content creator is to blame for it, because she got huge brand deals that never looked into that information. And it was way past damage being done when people began to question what she was saying. But like there's doctors in it that are like, you cannot cure, let's say, cancer with diet alone. It's impossible. You cannot do it. Like I hugely believe in the benefits of really good quality food and like balanced diet. I'm so here for it, and I feel so much better mentally and physically when I have a really solid balanced diet. But do I think that's going to cure my MS? Absolutely not. And I think it's kind of similar to the sense, like if you had a plumbing issue, you're going to go to a plumber. Any form of electricity issue, you go to an electrician. You're not going to go to a hairdresser to fix your electricity. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like health and diseases, they're nearly slightly treated differently. Like you don't have a hairdresser claiming that they know information about electricity, do you know? And like the thing with doctors and nurses and medical professionals, they go to college and study for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And then you have people who do holistic courses. They might do an online course, and now they're claiming that they know more than someone who went to medical school for 8 years. That's not comparable. Like, do you know, I don't want to be negative about holistic medicine, because I love things like yoga. I know many people that have done acupuncture and find it hugely beneficial. Meditation, again, there's so many benefits to it, but I would never stop taking my disease modifying therapy for that, because I know that can't treat my MS. it's not going to prevent me from going into a relapse, you know? Anyways, I don't want to come across as negative against holistic medicine, but I do want to spread awareness about the importance of listening to your doctor, your neurologist, your consultant, your nurses, your medical professionals, scientists. They are the ones who really actually understand the ins and outs of diseases and the drugs themselves, you know? Do I think it's good to do a mixture of, let's say, holistic medicine or like natural therapies and remedies along with your medicine? 100%. A good mixture of both, yes, slay. But in particular, from seeing those videos on TikTok and so many people in the comments being like, oh my God, how can I work with you? Oh my God, can you help me cure my MS? And can you blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh yeah, just sign up through the link in my bio. And I'm like, it's so morally wrong to me. And if I even spread awareness to a handful of people about the damage that these videos can bring, I'll feel like I've done a good job. And just the importance of listening to doctors. Now, they're obviously, you know, not every doctor is incredible. Not every doctor is right. But to kind of step away from medicine for something like a chronic illness, and like for people on TikTok to prey on vulnerable people, I'm just like, it's so wrong and it's so damaging, and you're messing with people's lives, you know? Anyways, I kind of just wanted to share my 2 pence on this, my 2 cents. Okay, my SD card is running low. I have 2 minutes left. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'd love to know what people's thoughts are. And I hope I have spread awareness, shared some information, shared some valuable information, and hopefully helped a few people along the way. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye!